Hi, welcome to the galley. Today I want to do with you a butternut squash soup, coconut curry butternut squash soup. This soup you can have on the table easily in 45 minutes. You can also do all of this in your stock pot 6 to 8 hours on low and come home and mix it up and have soup ready for dinner. So this, I think, is a fairly on the small side butternut squash. They can get pretty big, but for this recipe you want about 6 cups of butternut squash. So let me get this peeled and then we'll come back and chop it up. Now I think a lot of people struggle with the butternut squash in chopping it and handling it, and it's one of those things in the produce department you always see already chopped up for you, and I don't have any issues with that. Just check it and make sure they don't treat it with something so that it can then sit there on the shelf for a lot longer than it should. I find that cutting it in half is easier to deal with, and then cut down into planks, and then you have a nice flat surface here to cut your planks, and I just think that makes it easier for you. This end we're going to cut in half because we want to get in there and scoop those seeds out. Again, we're going to come back, lay it where it's flat so it's easy for you to feel comfortable with. Oh, that is the timer for some chili lime peanuts that I'm roasting as a garnish for this soup. So let me give them a peek. Oh, those look beautiful. Chop those up as a beautiful garnish. So now when you come to dice your squash, now this is all going to get cooked and pureed, so we're not looking for perfect chunks, but what we are looking for is uniformity, because we want this squash to cook evenly at the same time. At the end, when we go to puree it, we don't want pieces overcooked and pieces undercooked. So try to shoot here for them being uniform. All right, we've got our butternut squash all ready to go, and honestly, to me, this is the most time-consuming part of this dish. So let's come down to the stove and let's make this soup real quick. So my pot's heating up. I'm going to do a tablespoon of coconut oil, and again, avocado oil or your avocado oil, but I thought coconut oil was the way to go for our coconut soup. And once that warms up, we're going to go in with some shallots. Now I did 2 medium shallots, but you could do a small onion or a half of an onion. And we just want to saute that. I think my pan could have been, my oven or my fire went out. So we'll let that come up to temp. Now I like to add my dry seasonings in now, because that way it really helps to waken them up. And I'm going to go with 1.5 teaspoons of curry powder and a half of a teaspoon of, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. And just let that help release all the oils in those spices and wake them up. And then I have 3 cloves of garlic going in. I'm going to do the zest and juice of a lime. I think this is one of those situations where if you're using the juice, you should use the zest. So now we got our lime juice in there. I want to add, I have a half a tablespoon freshly grated ginger. And yes, you can substitute some ground ginger if you don't have the fresh ginger, but I really like the fresh ginger. And then I like to give my squash a toss in this. Just let it cook for a minute in all of this beautifulness. I'm going to do 2 teaspoons of a chili paste, whatever kind of chili paste that you like to use. I'm using my gochujang here. And then I'm going to do a tablespoon of pure maple syrup, can of unsweetened coconut milk, I want to do a teaspoon of kosher salt and 2 cups of stock of your choice. And we're going to bring this to a boil. We're going to reduce it to simmer. And then we're going to simmer for 15-20 minutes till your squash is tender. You know, I kind of forgot I did want to add a little pepper. And I'm honestly going to go with my white pepper here. And probably a quarter to half a teaspoon of your pepper. So we've come to a boil. I'm just going to reduce this and just let this simmer. I'm going to check it in 15 minutes and see how it is. So while we're cooking away, I'm going to work on some garnishes. And I made the chili lime peanuts for that, which I think I'm just going to chop those up lightly, and those will be a great addition. I am going to chop some cilantro. You could also do like toasted paprika seeds for this. And I want to do a cream. I want to do some kind of cream. Now, I do like to use creme fraiche for my toppings, but you can do heavy whipping cream and whip it. And the reason that you want to whip it, and I'm actually going to add a little of creme fraiche because I really like that that kind of tang that it brings. But you want to whip this because otherwise, if you just tried to pour cream on top, what's it going to? It's just going to sink right in. And then this creme fraiche will actually help to stabilize your whipped cream. And now you can go a lot of different flavors here. You can stop right here. Maybe add a little salt. You could do freshly grated ginger. You could do some of your curry powder in here. I'm going to go with my Goga jam and add a little kick that way. So just a little. We're not looking to overpower anything. We just want a little. We want a little zest with our life. And then I'm just going to make some whipped cream, if you will. I'm not going to take it to the stage of whipped cream, but almost. Okay, so you can see how it's gotten thick. And we're going to be able to pipe it, and then it's going to be able to sit on top of that soup and not just fall through it. I think we should see what we think. It's pretty yummy. It's going to be a nice accent to the soup. So we're 15 minutes in, and we want to very easily be able to mash that with our fork, and we can. So I'm going to call it done. I'm going to move it from the heat, and then we're going to puree it. If you don't have an immersion blender, then you can do this in your regular blender or your food processor. So now that it's nice and pureed, let's give it a taste. I want to do just a good-sized pinch of kosher salt. Now, kosher salt enhances and brings out the natural flavors of things. And that's why I cook with kosher salt and not do my sea salt here, because sea salt is just going to make things salty, or kosher salt's going to bring out the natural flavors of the food. So let's give it another taste. It's so delicious. Not one thing is overpowering. You taste the curry. You taste the coconut. It's got just a hint of spice in the back of your throat, but a pleasant one, and an excellent soup. And this soup is, again, super easy to make. And then we're going to add all our beautiful garnishes. So now that we have that beautiful cream that we made, and you know, you can just decorate with a heart for people. If you want to make them a nice heart. It was a terrible heart. And some fresh cilantro. And then, of course, for that little bit of crunch, make sure you do this at the last minute. Some of those chili lime peanuts wanting to fall through there. Now let's have a taste. Kind of get a little bit of all of that. I'm going to get some cream, some cilantro, peanut. And now it is perfect. That kick from the peanut is so delicious. So a quick and easy soup. And a great way to use butternut squash. Thanks for watching, everybody. Love y'all. Thanks for being here. We'll see you again real soon. Bye.